Good afternoon. My name is Troy. I'm Indian. I teach at Assumption College, Rajdhani. I've been in Thailand for 8 years. I'm primarily an English teacher, but I've also taught other subjects. The purpose for the interview today is to interview a colleague of mine for a teaching requirement. The topic is the teaching profession, and we're going to go through a series of questions. So over to Mike. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, hi, my name is Mike Power and I come from Ireland and I teach in Thailand as well. I've been teaching here for 7 years and I teach mathematics from grade 1 to grade 5.
So the basic purpose of this interview is to gather some information regarding the role that the 5 educational philosophies play in the classrooms nowadays. A secondary objective is to present various classroom and office situations. We present those questions to the teacher and see how he deals with them. So the 5 groups are the essentialist group, the perennialist group, the behaviorist group, the existentialist group, and the progressivist group. We are going to begin today with the essentialist group. The question is, this is a situation, a hypothetical situation in class. Students are uninterested in the class because the teacher isn't prepared for the lesson, so how would you fix it?
Well, I think the most important thing for any teacher is to be prepared. If a teacher is not prepared, then it is very hard to have an interesting lesson that the students will follow. The second thing I would say regarding students not interested is enthusiasm is contagious. So if a teacher brings in a good level of enthusiasm, even in a dry subject, the students will feed off it and respond to it. So I think the last thing as well, a teacher should try to make topics, even dry topics, some way relevant to the students' everyday life, because that will make it more relevant to them and more interesting for them.
Okay, so the second question is, what features of essentialism do you think are applicable in classrooms nowadays, if any?
Well, I do think teachers' authority is a very important feature for any classroom management scenario. And another part of that system was rewards and penalties. And I do think that for younger students especially, rewards do work as an incentive. It's ideally we want to have intrinsic motivation all the way through, but in younger students that concept is maybe too far advanced. So younger students having a tangible reward is worthwhile to consider in classroom management.
Right, exactly, because I mean something that they can see or touch or identify with is easier to make. It makes sense for them.
Yeah, and they actually physically get the reward there at the end of the class if they've done good.
Right, as opposed to the abstract concept.
Yeah, of feeling good because they've learned and empowered themselves.
Exactly.
It's nice. That's in mathing. They should be at the level where self-motivation, but it's certainly for lower level, grades 1 to 6, I would say. Rewards and punishments definitely have a place in the classroom.
Right. Perfect. So moving on to the second group, which is the perennialist group. So how will you help students who want to be skilled in a certain field of specialization, like for example, let's say computer studies?
Okay. I suppose it can be difficult, and I teach maths. I suppose to allow them to learn in the field is that I would allow students to complete certain topics or assignments in a format that they want. So i.e. if someone's interested in computers, they can email me or do a PowerPoint presentation or a video and email it to me as opposed to doing it in the classroom. Similarly, if someone's interested in art, maybe to conceptualize an idea and draw a kind of a picture or some sort of an illustration of a point. And that's how I could encourage them and help students who have a particular aptitude or interest in a specific area.
Perfect. Okay. And the second question would be, is it necessary to incorporate features of perennialism in education, and what are those features?
I mean, I think a lot of perennialism is important in education. I mean, critical and rational thinking don't automatically happen. You know, so in the teaching pedagogy, I'm never always bad at that word, we should incorporate different scenarios, comparing different scenarios into whatever we're teaching, so that students get used to analysing, assessing and making a decision about different scenarios. Because too many times you can see it in current politics, a lot of people are led by the media, and critical thinking is needed more than ever.
Especially nowadays, yes.
Yes.
I would agree with that. Okay, so moving on to the third group, which is the progressivist group. And the first question is, again, a hypothetical one. Parents question a student's educational tour because it poses certain risks and is expensive. How would you explain that?
Well, I suppose first a teacher would have to meet the parents and provide assurances about their safety, i.e. teacher monitoring and guarding, and persuade about the merits of the real world learning experience that they'll have at the educational tour. And finally, if it's a case of money, if possible, to give an option for payment in installments, so that you're working with the parent, convince them of the merits of the tour, and then to see how viable, is there a viable solution for the parents to meet the cost of it. Beyond that, if they can't afford it, and then they can't go, but you do as much as you can to try and get them on board, and it's through teacher-parent meetings.
Yes, okay, perfect. And the second question is, what features of progressivism are essential in learning nowadays?
And I'd have to say, for me and my teaching style, I think that progressivist approach probably encapsulates most of what I believe is important for enduring understanding in student learning. So basically, I would say all of the main factors of progressivism should be incorporated in education.
Perfect. Okay. So we move on to group 4. Group 4, which is the behaviorist group. Question 1. The teacher tells students from the slum area, if there's a will, there's a way. Poverty is not a hindrance to success. Explain further.
Well, this one, I actually scenario is double-edged. Excuse me. Encouragement is good. I think if you can give them a real example of somebody coming good, either that was in the school or from their area, and showing that as a success story or as a case study, would help enrich it. But students are not fools, so the line of poverty is not a hindrance to success. I would actually disagree with. It is easier to be successful if you're already rich. It's a hindrance. It does not make it impossible.
Right.
It's not insurmountable, but it does make it more challenging. And I think that by encouraging the student, by painting it in real terms, they'll see, okay, yes, they'll see that, yes, I can, but it's going to take me a lot of work.
Yes, okay. All right, now we move on to the last group, which is the existentialist group. And the question that I would like to ask over here is, so a colleague at work asks you to decide for fear because he or she made the wrong decision by not following the curriculum in their lessons. How would you react to such a situation?
Well, I suppose with a colleague, I'd first try and talk to the colleague and get what did they want to learn? What does he or she want the students to learn from this exercise, whatever the project, it was a project, etc. And then encourage the colleague to think about the student's interests when designing any activity or project. I'd like the colleague to still make the project or the activity themselves, because that will just encourage them to have confidence in their own ability to make a decision. Like it's important for teachers to learn as well. Teachers can learn from other teachers. So in that case, I'd be trying to act as a facilitator for information to make the other teacher, my colleague, more confident in pursuing whatever avenue they thought, even if it went slightly off the curriculum.
Right, exactly. Okay. And one more question. Do you use any features of existentialism in your class?
I suppose any focus on values will use features of existentialism, and it's an effective way to impart core values, is to have students consider the lives of role models and consider the lives of heroes, and to see what are the core values that these people represent, and it helps impart certain core values to the student as well, when they want to live up to they want to follow in the footsteps of their hero or their role model, and that's part of existentialism.
Yes, exactly.
So that's part of it I would use and think should be used.
Great. Okay, so thank you, Mike, very much for your insightful comments and feedback. We definitely hope it's useful.
Okay.
And thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.